this place wasn't big enough for both of us, and when the Graffmans moved in, the Bernsteins moved out. This is Gary Graffman. Welcome to Happy Hour.
So you never saw Szell step on a cello or yell at the bass section?
No. There were things like,
yeah.
It was a frightfully cold, blizzardy type day. The parking place for most of the orchestra was, just around there. And if you came in late, you were way there. And Mike Bloom, the principal horn, arrived, towards the end of, everybody else. And he walked with his horn, which was frozen by the time he got in. He had a frozen horn. And that was Brahms D minor. He hit a clinker on the first thing. Let's not start that again, Mike, said Szell. So everybody just laughed because it was so ridiculous.
I suppose maybe Reiner was even more fierce.
Yeah.
You played with Reiner?
Only once. I played with his Chicago Orchestra many times. It was with guest conductors. He was very cold, I thought. He taught at Curtis before my time.
Oh. Tangerine?
Yep.
Cheers.
And that tastes different every time because it's a different kind of fruit.
Did you make your vodka for any of these conductors?
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
The ones we're talking about?
Yeah, they all, Szell was here a number of times.
Right here?
Yeah, Bernstein, Zubin. Oh, yeah, Mazel.
For me, the Prokofiev recording with Szell is legendary on one hand, but the other that I think of is also your work with Bernstein and the Rachmaninoff. So
yeah.
the Rachmaninoff disc I had was, I think, the second concerto and the Paganini Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Bernstein is worlds away from Szell, and yet same
exactly.
country,
Exactly.
Same soloist. So what? I mean, you have to have at least one good Lenny story.
As I told you, he lived in this building when he was the conductor of the Philharmonic across the street. At Carnegie, when they were at Carnegie Hall.
Phil played at Carnegie.
Yeah, when they were
before Lincoln Center.
Before Lincoln Center, and there's a plaque in front of this building that Lenny was here. That plaque was only put here a few months ago. Actually, this place wasn't big enough for both of us, and when the Graffmans moved in, the Bernsteins moved out. Almost exactly that.
And he moved to the Dakota.
No. First, he went east, and everybody booed east.
Yeah, we don't trust the east. The musicians live on the west side of Manhattan.
But then he realized the error of his ways, and he again moved to the left, to the Dakota.
He was a left winger.
No, very much so.
Yeah.
And so everybody knew that, of course.
Well, he lived there probably at the same time that John Lennon did.
Yeah.
So I think that's, he wasn't willing to live in the same building as Gary Graffman, but he was willing to live in the same building as John Lennon. So,
but the first time I met him, well, again, as a result of winning the Leventritt, there was no monetary prize, but you played with all of these great orchestras, which is more important.
Yeah.
And Arthur Judson, who was the main manager at that time, was one of the judges at that competition. So at that time he had a very small apartment, as far as I know, and we, went over the Brahms before we rehearsed it with the Philharmonic.
What was he like in rehearsals?
No, sometimes he would add words to a theme, most of which can't be repeated.
Whatever happened to Leventritt? Because that sounds like the right kind of competition. It didn't matter what there was no repertoire that was prescribed, and it was a kind of closed room in which you'd play for people who might give you a career.
Well, it would be based. The first two people who were asked to be judges each time were Szell and Serkin. They had to be available, and then everything went around it. You could play more or less what you want. I mean, obviously, if somebody played only Liszt and nothing else, well, some comments would be made about it. There was one year that Serkin, Leon Fleischer, and me, we had students in the thing. But Serkin called me once and said, "You didn't come to our, preliminary." I said, "No, I was, whatever I was doing." He said, "Well, there's a very talented kid. You should come to listen. His name is Van Cliburn." And I said, "Yeah, what?" The list was fantastic. The Rachmaninoff was this. Chopin was beautiful. And said, "How do we play the classics?" "Oh, no good at all." But the other thing was so fantastic. It didn't matter if somebody did something fantastic. And another time, I remember hearing a Serkin student play. Again, it was Chopin, I think. And I said, "Hey, that's beautiful." He said, "Yeah, but she has no comprehension of the classics." The thing about his own student. And he therefore didn't vote for his own student.
Huh.
When we got a little older, Leon, Eugenie Stoneman, and I were among the judges. We would meet here and discuss all sorts of things.
Maybe we should move on to our fourth installment. What's after Tangerine?
Do you want pepper first or ginger first?
Ginger would help clear the pepper, so maybe we start with pepper?
Yeah.